Fight coming up. What has been different, especially moving up in weight?
We haven't done anything different that we've done in the past. That said, you know, again, everybody really should tune into this fight. It's going to be an all-time classic. Again, like I said, Gervonta, pound for pound, to me is one of the best fighters in the world. At this point in time, he's the best 135-pounder in the world, in my opinion. I've been in this sport for a long, long time. I've been around a lot of champions. And this fight kind of reminds me, I worked with Joel Casamore, one of the greats I fought on Showtime many times. And Casamore versus Corrales was a classic, and I'm expecting that kind of a performance. And I think Gervonta is going to bring out the best in Hector, and I know Hector's going to bring out the best in Gervonta.
Champ, folks that are going to be on the undercard. You started here in D.C. You got this big fight on the 7th of January here in D.C. What does it mean to you to be back home and not be opening things up, but to open opportunities up for other fighters?
I think this is important. You know what I mean? It's definitely important. You know what I mean, to be able to open up, you know, ways. I mean, well, yeah, ways for other fighters that, you know what I mean, to showcase their skills. You know what I mean? I think that's very important to be able to come back, and that's what it's for, bro. You know what I mean? Once you, you know what I mean, had that what I want to say, like you make your stamp, your mark in the sport. It's about coming back and try to, you know what I mean, show other people, you know what I mean, it can happen. So showcase their skills at a high level. You know what I mean? I definitely, I always try to push to have like a lot of up-and-coming guys that's coming after me, or even on the same, just try to get them on the card just so they can showcase their skills. And you know what I mean, it's enough for us all to win. You know what I mean, after, so that's a major goal for us. Once we make it out, definitely come back and show up people that it can be done.
Well, Hector, this is for you. You heard that all of the focus is just on you, nobody else. We know that you're going up.
You've been talking crazy too.
I'm gonna ask him about it. You're taller, you're moving up. We all know about Tank's power. Do you feel that you're going to go into this fight, not just have a height advantage, but will you have a size advantage, period? Are you ready for the power?
Héctor, usted escuchamos decir que usted dijo que en que se enfocaba, usted se enfocaba solamente en sí mismo, su trabajo, no se enfoque más nada. Usted es más alto, tiene más altura. ¿Usted siente que la producción de la total?
Bueno, yo tengo sí la ventaja del tamaño, pero yo me adapto al ritmo de mi rival. Yo sé que es una tarea dura, porque es el tanquecito un hombre. Yo sé que el tanquecito es un campeón, es libra por libra, y porque yo no puedo hacerlo.
Well, I do know that I have an advantage because I'm taller, but at the same time, I know that I can also adapt myself to the rhythm of my rivals. And I know that Tank, it's a hard opponent, it's going to be a tough rival, but I know that I have what it takes.
Okay. Tank, I'm going to let you get the last word in response there. Before we get to media questions, also want to ask you, being here in the nation's capital, your profile is large, you're a global superstar and celebrity. DC, different type of a town. Is there anyone in particular that you would love to see come out to this fight at Capital One Arena?
Yeah, everybody. I ain't gonna lie. To be back in DC and fighting Ari, I got them on the card. The people that I wanted to come, and that's Lamar and Anthony.
All right, we're gonna open questions up and take questions from the media. Go ahead.
Hey Tank,
off to your left. This whole journey, dream come true or well-executed game plan?
Say it again, I'm sorry, mama.
Your journey that you're on right now, dream come true or well-executed game plan?
I ain't gonna lie, it ain't a dream come true. It's just me trying to get over that hump. That's it. I don't think that, you know what I mean? I'm not there yet, so I feel as though I gotta get over this hump. That's what it is.
Okay, this is Derek Long from Chantastic Mall, Baltimore. How you doing, sir? Tank, we talked about when you had the homecoming about 3 years ago. I want to know, because I know about you, what is the inner motivation for you for this fight? I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about, what is the inner motivation for Tank Davis to take this fight?
No disrespect, but to come get niggas. That's it. That's my motivation. I ain't talking, man. I'm trying to get him.
James Butler, the Boxing Source. Actually, this question is for Coach Calvin. Now, you talked about, being in there in camp with Tank, and that he has a newfound focus, particularly for this particular camp. Like, what is it in this camp that stands out of what Tank's doing in comparison to anything that he's done in the past?
He's awake. He's coming into the man that we've been training for years. He controlling everything now. He's starting to understand. He's putting on his big boy pants. We understand that this fight is the main fight to the other fights. When I talk to him, I'm not talking to little Tank anymore. I'm talking to the grown man Tank. From being with him for so many years, it's amazing to see a kid from a man to a grown man. And this fight is everything. The show, stop playing with him. Give him his props. They still don't want to give him his props, but that's good. We're from the mud. We like playing in the mud. The 7th, come and watch this. We're putting everybody on notice. Everybody.
Hey, Tank, Gene Wong from the Washington Post. You mentioned how much you're looking forward to fighting back in D.C. The city has such a rich boxing history. You're the headliner at Counter One for the first time since Mike Tyson. DC's also hosted fights with Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Riddick Bowe, Lamont Pierce, you mentioned. What does it mean to you to follow in that line of some of the all-time great fighters to fight in D.C.?
It just, I ain't gonna lie, it felt good to be back home. You know what I mean? Just, like you said, amongst the greats, just be able to come back home and put on a great performance and put on a great event, things like that, be able to get everybody together and, you know what I mean, have a great, I say party, you know what I mean, because that's what it is, you know what I mean, we grind in the gym, a lot of people don't see that, so come, them big events, it's time to show up, you know what I mean, and I think that it's important that, you know what I mean, when you be able to come back home and be able to bring everybody together and there's no drama and things like that, I think that's important, that's what we're doing. I mean, so coming back home is definitely, it's a big mark for me. I mean.
And Mike here from DC Mike TV. Calvin, how you doing, Calvin? Tank, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a few years. I've been knowing you since you were about 17, 18 years old. You've always been a quiet kind of guy. Do you like this role right here, like as far as you getting all this attention plus money, or would you rather just have the money and kind of be below the radar?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot that come with it. I'd rather get my money and just chill. I mean, but this is part of the sport. I'm part of the sport, so I'm just ready to shut everybody up. You know what I mean? All the talking that's going around, that's floating in the air. I'm ready to pit them. You know what I mean? Shut that ass up.
And I got one more. I've been talking to a lot of people about this fight, and you know, most people would say, you know, they would look over Hector, but a couple people do not look over Hector. Why do you guys think that a lot of people are looking over Hector? Obviously, you know, he's an Olympian. He beat, you know, Chris Colbert, obviously. He's I think a champion at 130, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, why do you think a lot of people are overlooking Hector?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Nah, but it's two fighters that I think it was this year or last year that was saying that they was gonna knock somebody out, and it was like I step in an opponent, and that was Teofimo and Chris Colbert. You know what I mean? And both of them wound up getting touched up. So I always knew not to. You know what I mean? When I was coming up in pros, and we all signed Al Heyman. We was fighting, you know what I mean, ducks and things like that, and a lot of guys, prospects was getting clipped because they was going in there, you know what I mean, just throwing and not even thinking like, I'm actually in a fight, you know what I mean? So I was always them guys that stay focused and know that everybody in front of you is a threat, you know what I mean? So we know that Garcia coming, you know what I mean? Not to say I watch him. I watch him a lot. You know what I mean? I watch all my opponents. You know what I mean? Even down to training. I know what they're doing day in, day out.
This question's for Tank. This is Edward on the ropes boxing. I wanted to talk about you put yourself in a situation where you wanted to help the next generation. You talked about that at the press conferences in Baltimore, that you've always wanted to help those that are coming behind you. I wanted to talk about a young man, Jaleel Hackett, who's here from DC, who's been a part of your training camps in the past. First got to meet him at the age of 16 in your camp. Why was it important for him to be on your card?
We've been knowing Jaleel since he was you know what I mean? So it's definitely important to, you know what I mean, have a guy like him, because I'm not too far from him. Like, I was, you know what I mean, coming up just like him. You know what I mean, in DC and coming to rooms like this when damn near Adrian and Lamont and Anthony was, you know what I mean? So I'm just doing what, you know what I mean, I feel as though it's right. I feel as though that's the way to do it. You know what I mean? And he's the next young lion. Just as well, we got Stacy over there, we got Mayor, we got a lot of young people that's coming behind me, Damon, just everybody, just, you know what I mean, a lot of guys that's coming behind me, and, you know what I mean, I just want to be able to get on the platform, and I think that's right.
Hey Jake, this is Matt Paris from the Washington Times. Stephen was talking, Stephen was talking about kind of how maybe other fighters would have just skipped this fight and go past it. What do you kind of make of that? Do you think that separates you in this sport, that you're willing to take?
Just skip it.
Like, you could have fought Ryan Garcia instead in April. Like, what do you kind of make of that you are willing to accept this challenge right away?
No, it was just because, I don't want to say, but it was for different reasons. You know what I mean? It was for different reasons, and we just had to take him. You know what I mean? So.
All good?